Okay guys, Storm Soulfire here, and we got our third and final deck profile from Saturday the 2nd of October, which is Despia, and who it is? Luke.
Hello, right,
So show us how this works.
how this works, I've got your main sort of normal summon here of the deck, preferable with 3 Aliber.
Yeah.
What that'll do is it'll just go and grab your search and use some spells.
Yeah.
So mainly opening, or it will grab you the theatre, the field spell. I currently run 2, but I'm considering running 3 of Dramaturge.
This is like effect failure, isn't it?
So that's like when an opponent summons an extra deck monster, so anything, I can negate a card on field, specifically a monster. It has to target though, which is a little bit inconvenient. I should say Aliber also has a second effect where if a fusion leaves the field, it can then summon itself back, negating a monster in process.
Wow, that's not bad.
So pretty good effects on those two. That is your main one you want to see.
So those are like your starters.
Yep, you see 3 Tragedy. What Tragedy does is, it doesn't do much on the field, but it can, first effect, when it hits the grave or is banished by a card effect, it will search for a Despia monster, so you mainly grab your Aliber this way. Your preferable ones to hit branded opening, discard off. I'll get to that later. But it also has a second effect which doesn't get used often, but it can banish itself to then add back a branded spell trap. So it can recur the field spell for you, it can get opening back to you. It can do a few things. It's got a use.
So it's good.
Yeah, you don't want it on field, but you can have it in grave.
Okay.
The last one, I do run 1 comedy. I did run 2 previously, but it did get in the way a little bit. Basically, what it can do is it's a hand trap for if someone targets a Despia card of yours, just send it to the grave, you can negate it.
Yeah.
And then also, second effect is you can banish it into the graveyard, and it will. No, not banish it in the graveyard.
If it's in the
quick
grave.
effect, you can tribute a fusion. Sadly, it's not either person's fusion. It says tribute a fusion, but the rule of your tribute says you have to use something of your own unless stated otherwise. So, could have been amazing in the mirror earlier. I did beat a Despia player earlier. It wasn't pure. Those will be our main monster package for Despia monsters.
Yeah, because yours is like a little bit of a hybrid. Is yours the hybrid one, or is it the...
Adam's is the hybrid. Mine's more the pure version. So, what we do have is we do have 2 Fawn of Albaz. It's a fusion deck. Fawn of Albaz is great. It actually has synergy with. It can be summoned off the extra deck monsters, but it also just normal summon it, and I can just get into my extra deck fairly easily using opponent's monsters.
Damn.
Pretty good effect. We have 3 Albion. This is also known as Fawn of Albaz in the grave and on the field. So if it does, but it doesn't have the same effect. What this basically does, it has a mulligan effect. So it sends a spell from deck to grave for cost.
Yeah.
And then what it would do is you can put itself on the bottom and draw 1. So it's a free advantage. You get send a card to grave, you get draw a card. It can help recycle some things.
That's not too bad.
Main target is branded in white. Especially if this is in grave. So if you hit opening, send this to grave as the cost. If you don't have tragedy, then use this in grave. It classes. It will trigger the effect in grave in the end phase of branded in white.
Okay.
Hand traps.
Yeah, I see the hand traps. See all the different...
You've got a lot of hand traps we can run. So I run 3 Effect Veiler.
Interesting.
3 Bell.
Also interesting.
2 Lancia, and later on there is another hand trap. You can guess what it is if it's not including the monsters.
Comment your thoughts down below.
Yeah, so basic. We have a lot of people using graveyard effects in locals, so that's why Bell's so powerful.
Because
generally good.
Because I did question you about this earlier. It's Lancia. What was it again?
So Lancia's at 2. Just a fair few decks that this locals banish a lot, so it feels like a necessary inclusion.
Yeah, I'm guilty of doing that as well. So fair enough.
It's absolutely true. Veiler is also very good. 1 or 1 per turn as well, which. Absolutely help if you draw multiple.
And this is the field spell.
We're moving on to the branded spells. So we got 3 opening, 3 branded. You can drop this to 2 if you really want to. I prefer it to 3 because I want to see it more often than not. I can.
So consistency. Consistency.
You'd grab it off Aliber more often than not, but you do want to have one.
Yeah.
You do also have 1 branded in white I referenced earlier. So going through these in order. Opening, what that'll do is you'll pitch, say, the tragedy earlier.
Yeah.
It's not cost, it's effect, so you end up actually getting the effect of both happening. So you can search a monster and you can summon a monster deck or add to hand. The theatre is obviously the fusion. It also has a built-in protection effect. If a non-fusion fairy leaves the field, you can summon back a level 8 or higher fusion, i.e. your your extra deck monsters.
The one that annoys me so much.
Yes, it's very good. And then also, branded in white, the one you send, this is what you send off of Albion. It can add itself back if it's sent by Fallen of Albaz, i.e. the graveyard effect, or if you use this, if you pitch this from Fallen of Albaz to use the fusion summon, you can actually get this as a fusion spell added to your deck. You can add it to your back row, and then you're good.
Damn.
And you can fusion summon next turn using Fallen of Albaz maybe, or even something in hand. It gives options. I believe if you use Fallen of Albaz, you can banish from grave, I think.
Okay. Because I was trying to remember, because you did...
Come up. It's never come up, but I think, remembering correctly, I think that's what it does.
Because you did use that on me at one point during our... Because we did play each other.
I did send it, but it didn't. It said it was from hand, so it never actually added itself back to the
Because,
grave.
spoiler alert, we did play, I think it was like round 1 or 2.
Round two.
Yeah.
And it's a draw.
Yeah, draw.
We run one fusion deployment. I will be upping this when I have more. Basically, fusion deployment says reveal a card in your extra deck, summon a card listed specifically on said fusion from deck. You reveal an Albaz fusion. It says Fallen of Albaz. You get yourself a Fallen of Albaz.
You just get Fallen.
To just force a disruption or just out your opponent's board.
Wow.
Simple as that. It's that much of a power card. I'm considering running it there. What we got next is the ways to get tragedy to trigger. So we've got those 4 here. We've got Foolish Burial. We've got Gold Sark, and we've got Allure. All of these will trigger the effect of tragedy to search a monster.
Yeah.
So send it to grave, banish by card effect, or just draw 2 and then banish a tragedy, and you get a search as well. So it's really nice.
I will ask, because I always like this little funny joke about lore, because it's like, if you don't have to dock, you have to send everything.
Yes.
Has that ever come up like in past...
I lost the duel yesterday because I got greedy. I decided to activate it instead of using my normal spell. The spell's a search. You have to discard. I didn't have anything to discard, so...
You lost your hand.
Went pretty terribly, yeah, and I lost the Mad Spectre as a result.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 Super Poly.
Shiny.
Super Poly, it's not really needed, but I use it as something to to break a board.
Yeah.
You've got your Fallen of Albaz that does the exact same thing, but this can't be responded to, so you might as well run it as well.
It's quite good.
It's quite good. Like, it's something you could technically drop if you really wanted to.
Would you actually side it, though?
It could be side-worthy, but it's good going first and second's the thing. So I view it as something I do run because it is good enough to go either.
And then here's another...
You can catch someone unaware, or you could just shotgun it to destroy their board.
Okay.
And then called by the Grave is the final spell.
Yeah. Everyone here...
Self-explanatory.
Yeah. Every one of the deck profiles that is coming up now will have at least the same one code.
You'd expect.
Yeah.
And then the referenced hand trap earlier.
Impo.
3 Impo.
Fair enough.
Good interruption.
Yeah. It's good interruption because it's like stops columns and spells and traps as well.
It's true. Going into the extra deck, we have Free Quertus. This is the main fusion you want to make. I don't run Proskinion, but this one basically, what it does, during the main phase, I wish it was just quick effect anyway, but during any main phase I can make the attack of everything that's not a fusion level 8 or higher 0, and when it's destroyed by card effect, you can summon a Fallen of Albaz or a Despia monster from deck, normally in cahoots with Alaba, and in the field spell, which brings back anyway.
So that's pretty good.
It's got a lot of recursive powers, this deck.
Yeah, because you kept using that on me.
Once set up, it just goes off.
Yeah. I think I was able to stop it at least once, didn't I?
You did stop it a couple times. We've now got all the Fallen of Albaz monsters that I'll go into normally, so depending on matchups. Those are the main ones I'll go into. There are some others. You can go into Starving Venom, etc. But these are the main ones.
Do you not like run Starving Venom, or is that coming out?
I do run it. It's come out in a minute. And so
spoiler alert.
This one, spoiler. Let's just splurge it down now. Actually, there you go. It can be used.
Yeah.
So can that actually. I'll reveal all the fusions actually.
Yeah.
So
might as well.
This one's amazing mid game. What this can do mid game, right?
Yeah.
Is this one mid game? When it's summoned, you can infusion summon by banishing materials from graveyard. So you could use the Fallen of Albaz you just used to go into, say, another Titanic Lad. And then the Titanic Lad will be on 3/7.
Yeah. Titanic Lad's the one that lets you add stuff.
They all sort of let you add stuff. So what they do, all of those ones do. This one, when it's in the graveyard at the end phase, as all these say, apart from this one doesn't, because it's not an Albaz fusion. But that one wins an Altergeist matchup fairly well. What this does, summons a Despia or a Fallen of Albaz. This one is Dogmatica and Fallen of Albaz. This one is Brigand, I believe. Oh,
Tri Brigade says.
that's Tri-Brigade. That's Brigand, that's what I'm thinking. It's Brigand, Tri-Brigade, or a Fallen of Albaz for each of them. So you can just recur into another Fallen of Albaz and fuse with whatever they've just used to destroy said thing.
Okay, that's not too bad. And then we got these three.
We then have these, yes. So that one,
Yes.
obvious, super poly target. This one in a
Yeah, I
Dragon
do
Link.
question you there.
In this one, say Dragon Link's got 4 dragons on field, normal summon Albaz, that's another dragon, 5-headed white field. It's gimmicky, it's something I'm looking to drop, because it's not come up at all ever.
Yeah, what would be like an alternate option for 5-head?
5-headed, I mean, when the new set comes out, there's now a new extra deck monster, that one's cracked for this deck, so I believe it's Masquerade or something like that. Basically, it's like Flare Metal. It's like Flare Metal in a way that you want to do something, pay 600. Not 800, it's not 800 like a Flare Metal, it's 600.
Okay, so it's just an annoying bit of burning.
It's basically it's a very good card.
Okay, so
those are the fusions that I run. As I said, just one for the Autogeist matchup. A Dragon Monster would be a Fallen of Albaz, Spellcaster, any one of the Autogeists.
All of them are spellcasters, right?
Yep, so what this does is it loses 100 attack for each card you have banished, but what it will do is if your opponent's trying to special summon a card using its own effect, it will banish it and anything else they control of the same type.
Okay.
So that just says you've got some Autogeist on field. If multi-faker doesn't, if you can negate this, the multi-faker, their field goes. Banish.
That's pretty good.
Very nice. So that is why it can absolutely win an Autogeist matchup, because they have not much to summon.
I presume you beat the resident Autogeist player with
He wasn't here, and I've not actually played him in that time period. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you should go against him sometime.
These are the other 3 extra monsters I run.
So its majority is just fusion.
Majority is fusion. I do go into a fair few 8, so Dramaturge and pretty much all of the fusions are level 8. So if I'm up against a graveyard matchup, I can just sit on a Signathon, stop them. So if Trap BA was here, so this against Trap BA is really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, Spell Negate and Redirect attacks.
And then Link Karibo.
Link Karibo in here, even though it says you can't fusion summon if you use Branded Opening.
Yeah.
What you can do, let me just grab the Tragedy.
Yeah.
It's a way to get Tragedy Engrave.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Tragedy Engrave, search, go off.
Okay.
It's a suboptimal one, but it gets you something engraved, and it can recur to fields, but etc. It can set you up.
Yeah. I can see a kaiju over there in the action. Side
You can
deck.
see a kaiju in the side deck. It's the only monster I run in the side deck, but...
Really?
Yeah, it is, surprisingly. So my side deck today is as follows. I'm tempted to put one of the things into the main deck, but we've got 3 Raiden, Allure Target, plus it can help destroy boards. This actually came up in a match yesterday.
Yeah, I saw you throw this out at one point.
So yesterday, what happened was my opponent had Waterfront. They'd started playing, I think it was Crusadia Kaiju Dragon Link,
Okay.
and
yeah.
Waterfronted. They had the Gamma Seal.
Yeah.
This decided to go and use its effect to make a token, the same attack, and they had no tokens left. They had no counters left, so they couldn't negate with Gamma Seal because it's cost to take the counters.
That's not bad.
So that actually I never thought I'd actually resolve effect of Radiant, but hey, it happened.
Right.
A lot of back row hate in here.
Yeah, let's see the back row hate.
2 Cosmic, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster.
Obvious.
We've got Storm.
Oy.
Makes sense. 3 triple tactics, which I might put in the main deck instead of maybe one of the hand traps. If I get interrupted, it can just keep me going. And then 3 IDP. Very good going first. Makes sense to just chuck it in.
It's good,
pretty
just
good.
like, okay. Alright, cheers for that.
So that is the deck profile. I came 5th today. I lost round 1 to Trap BA.
Yes.
Game 2 I drew you specifically with Dragon Link.
E.
I won the mirror match, and then in the final round beat Trap BA. So
Oh, was it a different trap BA?
different Trap BA.
Yeah, because there was like 2 who was
Yeah, there was the one that won the whole tournament, and I'm pretty certain every single one of my matches went to time. So you might see a Sparks or something in the side deck soon. You never know.
Alright.
For
Cheers.
memes, you might see a Sparks.
Alright, cheers for that, Luke. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.